Hello, welcome to all of you. Today I am going to share with you about the economics lessons, and our lesson is the concept of microeconomics. Micro means small. Microeconomics is the study of the economic action of individuals and a small group of individuals. These small groups of individuals may be households, firms, and industries, consisting of several firms. Microeconomics explains how and why these units make decisions. It studies how consumers choose between goods, how workers choose between jobs, how a business firm decides what to produce and what production method to use. The main objective of microeconomics is to study principles, problems, and policies related to optimum allocation of resources. Let's talk about the definitions from the famous economists about the microeconomics. According to K.E. Balding, microeconomics is the study of particular firms, particular households, individual prices, wages, incomes, individual industries, particular commodities. It is a study of particular economic organisms like consumers, producers, and their interactions, and of particular economic quantities like prices, wages, incomes, and their determination. In microeconomic analysis, each individual unit is examined in detailed manner in isolation from the general setup. In other words, the study of a particular unit is made separately at a time rather than the entire units taken together in general. Therefore, microeconomics is fundamentally microscopic study of the economy. Microeconomics splits up the entire economy into smaller parts for the purpose of intensive study. It is also known as slicing method. Microeconomic theory is often called the price theory or value theory because it is primarily concerned with the determination of relative prices of different commodities. It studies how the combined action of buyers and sellers determine prices in specific markets. Features of microeconomics. The following are the main features of microeconomics. The first feature is it is individualistic economics. It analyzes the behavior of individual economic agents such as individual consumers, households, firms. The second feature is It assumes that there is full employment in the economy. The next feature is microeconomic laws and theories are developed on the assumption of ceteris paribus. Another important feature is it is applicable under capitalistic economy where prices or price mechanism plays an important role. The next important feature is it is also called price theory or value theory. The sixth one is it is also called method of slicing because it divides the whole economy into different parts for the intensive study of the subject. The next important feature is it is concerned with the allocation of resources in the individual level of the economy. The eighth important is it is important variables or its important variables are individual prices, demand, supply, income. After sharing about the features of microeconomics, let's talk about the scope of microeconomics. The scope of microeconomics means the subject matter or areas of study under microeconomics. The scope of microeconomics can be explained as first is the theory of demand. Theory of demand refers to the analysis of consumers' demand for a commodity and his maximum satisfaction. It studies how a consumer distributes his limited income or the purchase of different goods at different prices to get maximum satisfaction. The second scope is theory of production and cost. Microeconomics also studies the theory of relating to production and cost of a commodity. A firm carries out production with the help of factors of production. Under theory of production, one studies production function and the laws governing production of goods like law of variable production and the law of returns to scale. It also deals with concepts of costs, least cost combinations of inputs, linear programming. The another scope of microeconomics is theory of product pricing. Microeconomics also deals with the theory of product pricing. Besides analyzing the conditions of demand and supply, theory of product pricing seeks to explain how the price of goods is determined under different market conditions, such as perfect competition, monopoly, imperfect competition. The effects of change in demand and supply in the process of price determination are also studied in this theory. Another scope is theory of factor pricing. Production is the joint effort of different factors of production. Income received by the sale of goods produced with the help of different factors of production is distributed among the factors of production in the form of factor price, rent, wages, interest, and profit. How the price remuneration of each factor of production is determined is the concern of the theory of factor pricing. which is studied under the microeconomics. Another important scope of microeconomics is optimum allocation of resources. Microeconomics is also concerned with the optimum allocation of resources. How efficiently resources are distributed among the consumers and producers. A consumer or a firm is in equilibrium when there is optimum allocation of resources. Microeconomics therefore studies the conditions necessary for achieving equilibrium. The next very important scope of microeconomics is welfare economics. Microeconomics also studies welfare economics. Welfare economics refers to the efficiency in consumption, production, exchange, and distribution. It spells out an ideal economy. It deals with the welfare of people as consumers and producers. After the scope, we are going to talk about the uses or importance of microeconomics. Nowadays, microeconomics occupies a very important role in the study of economic theory. It has both theoretical and practical importance. We may list the importance of microeconomics, which are as follows. The first one is helpful to understand working of the economy. Microeconomics explains the functioning of a free enterprise economy. It tells us how millions of consumers and producers in an economy takes decisions about the allocation of productive resources among millions of goods and services. Second importance is it is helpful to formulate economic policies. An economy consists of several sectors such as industry, tourism, trade, and others. An understanding of each of these sectors is imperative before an appropriate policy is designed for them. Microeconomics provides a useful tool to the government while designing price policy, taxation policy, and others in an economy. Helpful in efficient allocation of resources. Microeconomics is helpful in the efficient allocation of resources. Microeconomic theory explains the condition of efficiency in both consumption and production that ensures maximum social welfare. The next use or importance of microeconomics is it is helpful in the study of human behavior. Microeconomics studies many forms of human behavior with the help of the law of diminishing marginal utility, marginal utility, equi-marginal utility, indifference curve, and revealed preference theory. The next important or use of microeconomics is it is helpful in business decision making. Microeconomics is very much useful in business decision making. It helps the business executives in making production plan and trade decisions. It also provides an analytical tool to examine market mechanism and helps business firms to take decision about their production and price policies. After the use or Importance of microeconomics. The role of microeconomics in business decision making is our another issue of talking. Role of microeconomics in business decision making. The role of microeconomics in business decision making can be explained as: the first is optimal resource utilization. Optimal resource utilization. The productive resources are scarce in the economy, and microeconomics tells how the productive resources are allocated in the production of various goods and services. It also helps to find out what to produce, how much to produce, and for whom to produce. The second is demand analysis. With the help of microeconomic analysis, the business firms try to forecast the demand for their product. As we know, the demand for the firm's product would change in response to change in price of the firm's product, prices of other goods, which may be substitute or complementary, consumers' income, his tastes and fashion, his expectations about future changes in price, changes in the agent composition of population, change in total population. These are the determinants of demand, a study of which is essential for forecasting future demand for the product as well as the present sales. The next role of microeconomics in business decision making is cost analysis. Cost analysis is an important area of microeconomics. There are many theories to explain different conditions of cost in microeconomics, such as fixed cost and variable cost, average cost and marginal cost, short run cost and long run cost. These all help the business manager to compare costs of production of different periods and thereby to evolve suitable policies in controlling costs and deriving suitable profits. Optimal production decision. The production decision is concerned with proper product mix. What factors are to be combined in what manner to produce a given product? Microeconomics deals with different production techniques that help to find out the optimal production decision. The next role of microeconomics in business decision making is pricing policy. We know that pricing of the product is the chief function of a firm. This depends upon the cost of production and at the same time the prices of substitutes and the nature of competition. Price affects profits, which in turn determines the existence and the growth of the firm. The microeconomic analysis provides the business manager through knowledge of the theories of production and pricing in order to make sure that the firm gets profit continuously. The role of microeconomics is both positive and normative. It not only tells us how the economy operates but also how it should be operated to promote general welfare. After the role of the microeconomics in business decision making, now let's talk about limitations of microeconomics. Everything has limitation. Likewise, microeconomics has also boundary limitations area. Some of the important limitations which we must have to talk in microeconomics is static analysis. In the study of microeconomics, mostly static analysis is used. In it, many economic variables are assumed to be constant. In practice, however, economic variables are changing. Therefore, microeconomics is unrealistic to a large extent. Wrong conclusions. The conclusions drawn from the study of microeconomics are in many cases not valid from the point of view of macroeconomics. For instance, in microeconomics, we say that saving is a virtue so far as an individual is concerned. But if it is viewed from the macroeconomic angle, that is, if the entire population begins to save more than before, there will be fall in production and employment. In other words, it will cause misery in the economy. Thus, what is individually a virtue may become socially vice. The next limitation is unrealistic assumptions. Microeconomic analysis is based on many unrealistic assumptions like existence of full employment and perfect competition in the economy. But in the real life situation, both full employment and perfect competition are not found. The assumptions of microeconomics are unrealistic. Another limitation is limited scope. Microeconomics has limited scope. The study of many important economic policies and problems like fiscal policy, monetary policy, inflation, unemployment are outside its scope. Next limitation is it ignores the role of the government. Generally, microeconomic theories assumes the existence of a free enterprise system in which the invisible hands or market forces are assumed to play their roles freely. Microeconomics assumes also the absence of government intervention in the economic activities of the society. In practice, however, government controls and regulations of economic activities are rules of the day and are all pervasive. Okay, after the limitation, we are going to talk about types of macroeconomics. Microeconomics. It is of three types, which are the first is microstatics, second is comparative microstatics, and the third is microdynamics. The first microstatics, which is the study of static relationship between different microeconomic variables. It deals with the final position of equilibrium of these variables at a particular point of time. As such, it is a static analysis. For example, microstatic analysis analyzes the condition of the equilibrium price of a commodity at a particular point of time. However, it does not deal with the process by which the forces of demand and supply have reached the equilibrium position. The second is comparative microstatics. Comparative microstatics is the comparative study of different points of equilibrium attained at different points of time. It compares one equilibrium position with another when there is change in microeconomic variables. However, it does not explain the happenings in between the 2 points of equilibrium. It merely explains and compares the initial equilibrium position with the final one. The third is microdynamics, which is the third type of microeconomics. Microdynamics is the study of the process by which the equilibrium position moves from one point to another as a result of change in microeconomic variables. It explains all types of changes occurred between 2 points of equilibrium positions. It analyzes the process of happenings in the market during the period of transition from one equilibrium point to another. Thank you very much for listening me. This lesson may helps you in learning the economics, and especially this audio is related with the microeconomics. So I hope you will get some benefit. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. We will meet in the next lesson again.